Hello and welcome to the One Piece chapter review on the Otaku International podcast. I'm Muninn, and today we talk about One Piece chapter 1016. We talk about the Flower Capital, Momo's defeat and ZP0, Nami and Zeus versus Ulti, 2 of the Flying 6 down, and the next straw had confirmed Yamato holding off Kaido for Luffy. At the end, we have a Q&A section where you can pull up your questions regarding One Piece or any other anime, manga, manhwa, or webtoon. Here with me today, we have Ike-Senpai.
Hey.
Whirlpool.
Hey.
And Kiwi-chan.
Hi.
We also have a Discord server where we talk about all kinds of anime, manga, and manhwa, and we have a lot of people from all around the world. So if you want to talk about your favorite show, please make sure to join our Discord. So before we start with the chapter, I want to talk about the cover page. In this week's cover page, we have Zoro, Ninja Zoro, and a shinobi cat dodging spears in an attic. So, what are your thoughts about it? I think it is hilarious.
Literally, just looking at the picture itself, just Zoro in the ninja outfit and the little cat, and like usually people using pole arms to try to attack him and stuff like that. It's just a very funny scene to come into, especially because the situation that Zoro's in right now. and you know, if you think of like the historical portions of it and stuff like that, one of the main reasons why they even used those indoors was because of ninjas. And I just thought it was pretty interesting, pretty cool.
I really like it. Honestly, it fits Zoro's character as being a ninja. Honestly, like sometimes he's like the samurai kind of type, but for him wearing a ninja outfit, I think it fits him perfectly. Especially he's from Japan, so I think I love the cover page. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm right there with you both. I mean, like Zoro having 3 swords, he still has 3 like ninja swords, which is awesome. I like that he's also not sitting crisscross doing this. He's doing like the ninja kick out kind of move. This is an awesome cover page. I'm a Zoro stan, so you know, just having him on panel is like excellent. 10 out of 10 chapter immediately, you know.
Then you are the second Zoro stan on here today with Ike.
Yeah,
Let's go
right here, man.
Yes. So the chapter starts off with us seeing the capital city of Wano. Mm-hmm. We see the gate, we see all the people partying, and we see that now I forgot her name.
Otaku?
Otama, right?
Otama.
Otama says that the sky is clear and she hopes that her daddy sees her from the sky, and that also shows that they cannot see Onigashima right now, even though Onigashima reached the mainland of Wano country. So it takes time till Onigashima is inside of the capital city. And we have then in the next pages, wait, sorry, I have some technical difficulties right now. Please excuse me. In the next pages, we see CP0 again, who is counting the numbers of people that are fighting against each other. And then we have an announcement of Momo's defeat, which is like the first part kind of hits hard because the little girl telling that her dad is in the sky, is in heaven and watching down on her on this party, it kind of hits a bit, especially if you remember how her dad died.
Yeah.
And what happened there. And then you have the incoming threat of the flying Onigashima that is still flying over Wano country towards the capital city of Wano. And then we have that ZP0 notices that the gifters are changing sides because of the mochi. Dango, sorry, of the dango. And we have the current count is 20,000 against 7,000 people.
Ooh.
Which is, for the samurai, is a bigger number than they started off with.
Mm-hmm.
They only started off with 3,000 or 4,000, if I remember correctly. And
5,000. 5,000.
5,000?
I thought it was 3,000. It went to 3,000 to 5,000.
Yeah.
And now it's at 7 now, technically.
Yeah. So they gained more fighters for them through that strategy, which is kind of nice. And then we have the announcement of Momonosuke's defeat. Honestly, he is not defeated.
No.
No way.
They didn't even show that. He was getting away at the time.
Yeah.
Well, in the last chapter, I had to read the last chapter to be get it in my mind again.
Mm-hmm.
And you see a hole punched through the sidewall of Onigashima from Kaido.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be a similar situation with Luffy, him falling off kind of thing.
Okay.
So, but also maybe they dodged. Or Shinobu got the hit and she pushed away Momo to protect him, and she fall through the wall. So what are your thoughts?
You know what? In the very beginning, I was kind of at first confused why the bonfire celebration was going on, and then I remember about the death, and they're celebrating his death. Not celebrating him dying, but mourning him, stuff like that. And that's what in my head that I'm realizing. Am I right there? Is that what they're doing down there? Are they partying like that, or am I getting that wrong?
They're partying about there's a festival that they were doing. They were preparing for a festival.
Okay, is that in his honor or not? Because
no, it's Wano festival that they say have it. Yeah.
Good, then I can continue with this. They're crazy. I don't know why they're partying like this, and they knew there is so much things going on at the time. I don't understand that. but moving on to CP0 and them doing their whole commutation thing. They've been doing this the entire time. They literally have just been counting out the numbers, saying who has the upper hand, who doesn't have the upper hand. And I think it's pretty interesting that they're able to map this out in a strategic manner and realizing what's happening from each side. And this gives a better, puts it in a better perspective for a lot of people who can't really see what's going on from top. So I think this is actually a really cool portion to learn and to see. Which actually on that, I think it's funny seeing the numbers going from this small set of quality soldiers into this bigger set over and over again. As it develops, you're seeing the actual numbers of people increasing and dissipating at the same time. So I like that. This part's pretty cool. I think I like this part a lot. Actually, I like all the parts when the CP0s come up.
Honestly, this chapter, I want to talk about not Otama. That's Otama is the one with the dango.
Dango girl.
Yeah, I forgot her name now.
Yeah. Otoko.
Otaku. There you go. Otaku. So Otaku, I really love, like, it was like she said she wants to spend time with her father, and seeing that is her father, like, rest in peace, guys. Give me
Yeah,
an F in the chat,
yeah.
please. Rest in
That
peace,
is so true.
So it's kind of something that is very nice homage for it, and yeah. So with the CP0, continue with CP0, they're talking about strategy, just like what you said, Ike. I feel like they're kind of propaganda, because they're not really know what's happening. Even yes, their strategy, but did you really think that it's like there's still different factors playing with this? Like, I doubt the announcer, the person who's right next to her, him, is telling the truth. Even thing, I think she's trying to make sure, oh, the other ones are winning, but really it's not. Like, there's things that plays, but he's like, okay, I'm gonna believe you, whatever. But that's why the ghost thing. It, because if you think about it, like, um the more you think there's different factors, like, like, they said, oh, it's losing, so they said that the straw hat is really losing, so they think that the factors is gonna lose. But since Momonosuke announced that, hey, Luffy's alive, we need to fight, everybody's back fighting again. So that's why I really don't trust that go strategy thing that they have.
Yeah, I really liked the start of the chapter with Otama, but like she hurts, or sorry, Otoko, like she hurts to see on screen because like the whole smile for it's probably the most gut wrenching thing Oda's done. Um, the but like CP0 is actually really cool. I'm enjoying their commentary as well. Someone I read on like a Discord, someone was saying like with the chips that they're using. I
Mhm.
can't remember what the game is called, but they're writing kanji apparently. It
It's
means like
go.
life and death.
Yep, let's go.
Um, which I thought was really cool. I did pull up the numbers. So the forces started out at 27,000 for the Beast Pirates and 5,000 for the Allies. So it's
Mm-hmm.
crazy now to see that like the Allies have gotten bigger and the Beast Pirates have lost 7,000 people. It's wild.
Yeah.
Like they're they're doing this. They're getting the job done. This is pretty hype. I think Bao. I don't know if they're all called Bao Huang or if they have like different names. Um, but yeah, the like the walking microphones.
Yeah.
Uh, they're they're definitely not giving like the full information to CP0. There's no way they have to that they're actually going to, especially like their losses. Why would they report that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you
Definitely.
see that on both sides, also in total in this fight, with according to your numbers, that 5,000 were already defeated.
That too, yeah.
Yeah,
Because
that's true.
pretty much most of those numbers are now the pleasures and the gifters that have switched sides. So we've got like yeah, the 4,000 that switched sides. That pretty much means there are only like 1,040 samurai left. The alliance would have lost already.
Yes, if it wasn't for Tama.
Coming in clutch.
Yeah,
Right?
but that move was kind of genius.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was like the perfect use for her devil fruit. So, you want to say something, Ike?
I was gonna say, you know what? I feel like later on she's gonna play a big part. Just saying. Just wanted to say that.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm not sure about that, but she has potential. She
Mhm.
has potential in this world, definitely. So in the next few pages, we switch to Usopp and Nami, and we get the explanation. We finally get in this chapter. We get the explanation
Dude.
how Zeus got into Nami's climatect.
I still can't.
Because he kind of switched with one of the bolts, one of the weather bolts that Nami gifted him as a parting gift, and he's like switched places with one of them to get into the climatect. And it's like, I'm not sure if I like that explanation. And then moving forward, we have them meeting up the announcement person, the announcer girl, and we have them meeting Ulti, and Ulti smacks down Usopp and gets Tama because it's her fault. All the gifters and even Big Mom turned on them. So she's beating up, and Nami is getting a boss again. And hits Ulti. And Ulti first dodges the attack, and then we have Zeus making sure that redirecting Nami's attack to make sure that it hits Ulti, and Ulti is down. Which is, wow. It is the second time Nami smacks in this arc. So, what are your thoughts about this?
Man, where do we put her now? Like, where do we like? It was like in my head, like on a scale, where do we actually put her now? Because you know what? I know we had Zeus before, but he was just doing regular, electrical attacks. But now she's able to do actual badass physical attacks. I don't know whether he's all black because he's using hockey or he's just turned into a spiked ball. Who knows? But because of, he's a part of, Big Mom's soul, technically still, like he's just able to bring her power levels a little bit higher. And I think that part's interesting. Along with what the hell, Usopp? Like, all right. I don't understand how he went through this huge transformation and he was like, yeah, I'm pretty OP now. And he's still getting mollywopped like this. Like, I'm just saying, like, he just literally still getting mollywopped like this again. This is 3 times now I've counted that he's been getting mollywopped, like, just out of nowhere. So I was just like, what is he doing?
But also, directly after the time skip, Usopp was buff. And now he's lanky again.
Where did
he
go?
lost muscle?
Hey, I'm gonna tell you now, gains don't go away that quick, okay? I thought it was
Sanchi food. He's been eating good.
Right? I thought it was interesting. I thought it was really interesting. And then freaking Zeus just putting the smackdown like one after another, man. Dude, I didn't think Ulti was gonna stand up in the first place. Like, I legit, like, geez. All right, Big Mom one-shotted her, all right? And, like, there should have been no reason for her to get back up, like, at all. Like, there is absolutely no reason. I don't know why she got up. Hey, I'm happy because now we know what Nami can put down, like, for real. So now we can actually see it. Now we see she definitely has a physical weapon that she can use. I see you, Kiwi. I see you. Yeah, physical weapon where she can do damage and she can do freaking projectile damage. So this is a big level boost for her. Usopp needs to step it up, man. I just say he needs to step it up. Nami's gonna start overshadowing him.
Yes.
She's already been doing that since the time skip. Just saying.
Oh yeah.
I don't know where to start because I'm so hyped up about this, especially because everybody knows in this chat I'm a Nami stand, so shut up. But I like the explanation about it. Actually, the explanation is that when Harris kind of ate, like, once the weather ball, but Nami got like extend just like how Zeus was like eating it last time when like thing. So instead of like the soul, yes, the cloud soul disappear. Instead of having it went to the climate pack. So that means is that Zeus's new home is the climate pack. So he's no longer a cloud. He can transform now that he said to Nami, give me a new name. Like, he doesn't want to be named Zeus anymore. He wants him to be someone, because she said that he's still a little bit bound to Big Mom, but he's more able to be free now that he is becoming one with the climate attack, and actually accepting Nami to be the new master of and her getting popped with old tier. Like, I'm just I thought Nami got like the hammer, like Kaido's, like Yamato's spikes. I said, whoa, is Zeus can able to turn, like, I'll be honest with you, if Zeus can turn into a different weapons, like a wick quip, like, I'm gonna reference fairy tale, I don't care, but like Urza's power to requip into, Nami's gonna be one of those top tier that she could requip, and then maybe she could requip using it a defense for Zeus. You never know, she's no longer the glass character, I'm just saying. But I like how she literally saw Tama getting hurt and stuff. She's like, you know what? I'm beating her. And then Zeus, like, her fighting spirit let Zeus to be like, yep, nope, I'm gonna beat you all tier with that spike. And then, like, she misses the cloud, her first attack, and then she's like, you know what, I miss. And then Zeus sensed it, and then Zeus is like, nope, I'm making it hit it. And I was like, I love that. Like, that is a way. I can't wait what we could do with Zeus later on in the future. He's gonna play a big part, him and Nami. So
Zeus was like, "Oh no, we're gonna clap tonight. This is not happening."
yeah.
I mean, I'm right there with you. I really enjoyed the this whole segment of the chapter. Like, even though yes, Usopp still, he ate the floor. I'm okay with it. Like, for me, Usopp's big thing is, like, in a melee brawl. Yeah, I expect him. He's gonna get his shit pushed in. But that's okay. He's a sniper. And which kind of like plays its part here. Ulti headbutts people. She is the melee fighter. And Usopp still manages to, like, help out, uses his green stars, which are, like, all really cool, as, like, versatile as they are, to actually help Nami out and give her that opening to one pump ulti. Which, with Zeus, the whole, like, the fact that Zeus is the climate attack now is really awesome. Because, yeah, like, it just opens Nami up to so many different things that she could possibly do. I really like the redirect. Zeus is absolutely like, nah, my first day on the job, we're getting this one.
Yes, definitely. And he is also what Kiwi said, that he demands a new name.
Yeah.
That he's freeing himself of Big Mom, who betrayed him.
The cotton joke was hilarious.
Cotton.
Yeah. But if he is named Cotton, we have to make sure that Chopper doesn't think he is cotton candy.
Right.
At least he is not pink.
I mean, Sanji's gonna get jealous because Zeus is now, with Nami.
Right.
More.
I already see that coming. Yeah, you're right about that.
Oh my god. So then we have the announcement girl Bao Huang accidentally announcing Ulti's defeat and the defeat of 2 of the Flying Six, and everybody in the Beast Pirates is like, how did they manage to defeat 2 of the Flying Six? That's like, they are monsters.
Clapping.
Yeah, they are monsters, and it's Wow. And the girl, what? And you see everybody fighting there, and it gives the allies of Luffy and the samurai another push to fight more and
Yep.
see they're reaching something. They're kind of successing in what they want to achieve. So what are your thoughts on like two of the strongest fighters of the Beast Pirates being defeated?
So, you know what? In that sense, like think about all those people getting defeated, and a lot of people aren't really thinking about this. And now that it's been announced, all right, now that it's been announced that two of those people, morale is going to go down on their side. Yeah, we saw morale go down when it came to Luffy, but it was reassured. But now that they're hearing these bigwigs going down, hey, a lot of these people are just going to sit there and get demoralized. And I think this is going to start playing a big part in that shift of power on each side and soldiers on each side. Hopefully it does, because now that they know that this is happening, they're realizing, oh man, these Straw Hats, they're not playing. They're not playing. They came. They came and they came hard. They're fighting hard, and then they're keeping it going. And you know what? It's just crazy that even some of the weakest people on this team are putting out some damage. So I think they needed this. They needed these two defeats to bring their morale up and to demoralize the other side. So I think this part is definitely a well needed piece.
Oh my god, this is shocking, honestly. Like I don't know what to say because it's all over the place, but it's like the morale, like I said, it's went down very, very down for that thing. And like I said, in they're giving false information with the CP0, but since this person accidentally said, "Oh no, one of the flying six is down," there you go. There you go. It just hits that Straw Hats are not to be messed with, honestly. Like, we already know time and time again. Like, we already know seeing, like, the people's reaction. Oh no, the Straw Hats, what's happening? And then now it's establishing it even more. And then you have Nami and then the Sanji and the rest putting work on, even if they're waiting for their captain to come back. You already know, yeah, Luffy may be down, but we're not stopping this until we fulfill what we need to do. That's why I like it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, like I enjoyed this. Usopp coming in clutch again. Capturing Bao Huang with another green star. I think it's like it does play into the fact that they're lying to CP0 because they're saying two of the Flying Six have been defeated. They're not even announcing their losses to try and keep morale high. But this, coupled with the Samurai's, or rather the Alliance's morale getting shot up, because it's like, oh no, Momonosuke's okay and Luffy's gonna come back. Cool. But it's weird because like they haven't, aside from the people on the dance floor, and even not like all of them, Drake has defected. That's one of the Flying Six. And now we have Ulti and Page One are both down, and it's just like, yeah, it's just the Flying Three at this point. Sasaki, Who's Who, and Black Maria, which Who's Who and Black Maria both look like they've taken a bit of a beating so far, especially Who's Who. He looks like he's been getting manhandled by Jinbei in every panel they've been together.
Yeah.
But I think this is good for the Alliance. Morale's going to play a big part here. Otama's going to give orders, which I'm curious as to what she's specifically going to say. And I'm also wondering if some of the pleasures and some of the what is it? The pleasures and the gifters? Yeah,
Yes.
if some of the pleasures and the gifters have not started actually fighting for the Alliance yet, And so when Otama gives her orders, the numbers are going to shift even heavier than they already have.
Definitely.
Yes, definitely. Now, coming to the juice of the chapter, to the ultimate juice, to the hype, to what will like light the fire of the next Straw Hat discussion even more.
Oh,
We have Yamato and Kaido on the roof. Before I get to Yamato's announcement, I want to state what Kaido said to Yamato.
Mm-hmm.
He referred to Luffy and the Straw Hats and to Momo as pieces, and said he should learn to play. So for Kaido, his men, his crew, they're just chess figures, and probably, except of the Flying Six, the chess figures are probably peasants that are easily replaceable. That you that you sacrifice. So, and then Yamato gets back and said that he wants to sail with Luffy after they defeat Kaido. There's like the confirmation, the Straw Hat one confirmation. Yamato wants to be a Straw Hat.
It's almost like we saw this coming.
And I mean, Kaido doesn't believe that Luffy is coming back, or that he will be defeated. But he also states what made me curious. What Kaido said: "I've been staying here because Wano is special." So I think there is even more to Wano that we know of right now. We know that Wano is special. We knew it from the from the start, like Wano being a country that shut down, and what we learned in the beginning of the arc. We learned that Wano is a special country, and all the poneglyphs were written there, and that they created the poneglyphs.
Mm-hmm.
But this sentence from Kaido made me think that there's even more. There has to be even more if he says it like that. So, and then we have Yamato saying that Kaido is saying that Yamato will not be able to defeat Kaido, but Yamato says, "I don't want to defeat you. I want to hold you off as long as possible until Luffy gets back. Until Luffy is back to beat him." So next Straw Hat, Yamato. I know Kiwi will be sad, but next Straw Hat, Yamato. What do you think?
Okay, let's talk about this since we knew this was gonna happen. I'm just saying, take a seat, Kiwi. Don't worry, we got this. So you know what? I think it's awesome that Yamato decided to say those things, because I know since the beginning she's always always wanted to go on a sea, right? That's one of the biggest things. And since Ace spoke to Yamato, it's just been Yamato's inspiring dream. So it's just, I think it's cool that we finally know what exactly Yamato wants to do. And this portion of Yamato fighting Kaido like that, I thought it was pretty badass. But I want to see the scene. I want to see the fighting. I want to see what's actually coming about this real fight. I hate all this off-screen stuff. I really do.
You're gonna get an anime.
Exactly. They have to get in on the anime with this stuff, because you know what? I can't deal with this. Like I better see this fight. I better see this fight. That's like what is it? Odin went against Kaido, like that right there, the fight Odin versus Kaido was crazy. They didn't have that crazy fight in the manga, so I hope that they're able to reflect this fight later on too, and like and I'm just saying, I knew that Yamato would become the next person. Just saying. I never into that. It made sense. It made sense. But the next part where Kaido comes down to his little hybrid stage and starts fighting Yamato again, and you just see this. So this one shocked me. I don't know if this is a one-sided clash, but you see this huge Conquerors hockey clash. And I'm kind of hoping Yamato has that. That's coming from Yamato as well. I really do hope that. I absolutely hope it is. Because you know what? He sits there and Kaido talks about Yamato becoming the next Shogun, which Yamato was tied up in the first place. And he still is hoping for Yamato to become the next Shogun. If you think about that, that means Kaido doesn't see himself in place of anything. He's trying to pass it all over to Yamato, and he doesn't see himself in the picture. And I think that's pretty interesting. That kind of little portion is a little interesting. I know he was suicidal before, but it's but now it's kind of falling into like perfect place, seeing what he wants to do and stuff like that. And I think it's interesting. The final panel is very interesting. And I can't wait for this next one. I want to see them fighting. This needs to happen because I hate I hate having to wait for the anime like freaking 2 months later just to see it.
Honestly, like when she said that, like when Kaido was taunting Yamato as saying like, hey, Luffy's down, and so is Momonosuke. Why are you still fighting? And the conviction of Yamato. I'm not saying that I don't want her to join. I did say I did, but I just had the feeling that she would play a part of like being the right hand man of Momonosuke, even though he's gonna be a shogun or something. So, like, I always thought of that, but that was my own like thing. That now that she is declaring that she wants to stay with Luffy, and that I could see her joining the crew, and I really want her to join. I don't know when she is gonna fit to the Straw Hats, because we have a powerful house, Straw Hats now. We don't know.
Don't you lie, you wanted Carrot.
I do. Honestly, I want both. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. I want Carrot and Yamato in a sense, but I'm still waiting for that though. But one thing that actually shocks me the most is that what Yamato said was like the one that actually gave me the goosebumps. That she said that Luffy's the one that Odin is waiting for. Actually, that was something that I was got a goosebump on, because Kaido said, "You're not Joy Boy. You're not this," and I kind of wanted to imply, yeah, he might be not the Joy Boy kind of thing, but maybe Luffy's purpose is something completely different that Odin discovered in his logbook, and especially Yamato knows about it more than we do. And we know that Yamato knows about Luffy's second dream, like what his goal is. Because at first his goal was to be stated by Shanks that he wants to be king of the pirate. But do we really know what his actual, like his second dream he wants to fulfill? I don't really think so. That's why Ace was telling Yamato, "Don't laugh at my little brother's dream about something." And so I kind of want to see what it is, and I feel like that dream is going to be a tie to what actually what Odin's discovered. And I actually want to think, yeah, people confirm reference like you said, Roger and Joy Boy to Luffy, but I think that Luffy would actually surpass the both of them in a different sense. And I think I like the comparison out of the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. the end of this chapter is really cool. I am curious to see if Yamato does have Conqueror's Hockey, because that clash, that being solely Kaido is a little odd.
Mhm.
Although we do see it coming off of Kaido's club, we do. I don't know if Yamato has Conquerors. Be a little odd. Um, as far as joining the crew, I'm cool with it either way. I think it would be really cool though if Yamato joined Law's crew or Kid's crew rather than Luffy's, and goes to sea with one of them. Although personally, I would want Law to join the crew if we're talking about anybody here. Just stick the surgeon death on there.
I mean, technically,
yeah,
he's
tell me
like the
more.
white man.
Go on, Yamato as a heart pirate.
But yeah, Yamato being a heart pirate would be awesome.
I can't see her wearing a jumpsuit. Just like,
that'd be, yeah. Where's
Well,
the
then
yellow
we'll be hiding the
jumpsuit
side
and
boob.
It would, yeah, exactly. It would play into the
can't give
I'm
him
a
the
man,
side
I'm Obi.
And also, it would tie into like Law's history of saving people to get on his crew, because
yeah.
if we think about the I know the light novel is just semi-canon. It's not complete canon because it's not written by Oda. But if we base it on the light novel, Law saved first Beppo, then Penguin and Chachi. And in Sabaody Archipelago, he saved Jinbot, who was a slave. So he makes he likes to save people to get on his crew.
That's
right.
Also,
Maybe that's why
you should add with Yamato. I feel like if she's gonna be the thing, you remember Law wants to know about the will of D. You know, so I'm saying that maybe she will give the hints about what the will of D is, since Odin has the entire logbook. Just saying.
She definitely has the will of D's.
You mean the double D's? Okay.
That's what I meant. Yeah, definitely. That's it.
Okay.
True. But yeah, that's I'm interested in that. I'm fine with her joining the crew. I would like her to join someone else's, but her being on the Straw Hats, I was talking to my roommate about it. I would round out their crew as far as giving them yet another strong fighter, which would mean now they have an even balance of people who have a ton of utility outside of just combat, or a lot of different niche positions they can fill, and then they do have the raw combatants where it's in a raw test of strength, I've got 4 people outside of our captain that you've got to step up to.
Honestly, I feel like they have almost 6 almost Shibaki level people on their crew right now. Almost.
I mean, yeah.
It's crazy how many people, how strong they are.
Yeah, the straw going into the Onigashima arc, one of my favorite coolest thing was when they found that little outpost island, and everyone's like, "Oh, what are we gonna do about that?" And then right as they look back over, the Straw Hats have flattened it immediately. Yeah, but Kaido's words are very interesting. Wano being special, I am very curious about what he's talking about. I wonder if the dialogue will change slightly with the official or not, as far as what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I do have a theory about why he's suicidal. I saw someone bring it up in chat.
We could talk about that today.
Yeah, we can talk about that in the Q&A section. You can also tell your theories, what you think might happen, or
yeah. I see what you're digging at.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cogs are moving. But yeah, it's this. I do want to see the fight as well between them. I don't want Oda to off-screen it. I don't want it to be so focused on their fight. It's we get a whole chapter of just Kaido and Yamato. I'm I don't want that much. I'd like to get to the other fights we're seeing as well. I think it'd be cool if we got a split chapter of some of Yamato and Kaido, and then we focus on like one of the current fights of like Jinbei Who's Who or Robin Brooke versus Black Maria.
Mhm.
That'd be
Yes.
so cool.
Yes. So now we have discussed the whole chapter. What do you think is going to happen in the next chapter? Come in mind that this is a break week chapter. So next week we won't have a chapter. What do you think?
I think for the next one, usually when we come back from break week, we come up with a chapter with so much information and so many things that are just gonna catch us up. That's usually what they do. They catch us up to what's going on and stuff like that. So I think that's exactly what's gonna happen in the next one. I think the next one, we're probably gonna go off screen from Yamato. I don't want to. I want to see that fight. I think we're gonna go off screen from them. And I think it's going to go back downstairs. It's going to go back downstairs to them realizing that, those two members were destroyed. And then they're going back to the other fights. I think we need to look at Black Maria's fight and Robin. We need to look at that fight next. Because I feel like those fights need to be concluded.
Want to see Robin.
That too. Come on now. He's badass. She should have ended it a long time. We just done. But I just feel like right now that fight needs to end. It's been going on way too long. That fight needs to end. Frankie's fight needs to end. We already know Chopper's not fighting anymore. We got Jinbei. Jinbei's just kind of like duking it out. I think he needs to move on too. Sanji needs to have his own chapter. That's just gonna happen. His fight's he's gonna get a whole chapter to himself. And then we're gonna get a whole chapter of freaking Zoro coming back. Probably one-shotting freaking King. Who knows? We'll see. I don't know. Zoro's kind of badass like that. Well in his cast. I'm just saying. Maybe Chopper help him out, but I think this next one is just going to be an informational one. I think it's going to be informational. It's going to be Black Maria versus Robin, and then it's also going to give little bits and pieces throughout the rest of the battle. I think that's what's going to happen in the next chapter, and I think we kind of need that. We need to conclude some things.
Yeah, I kind of want to add something to what you said, Ike. I get what everybody's fights and stuff, but the reason the fights I want to add it that I feel like even if you watch the opening of One Piece, the 23. Something is hinting that spoilers that I feel like the entire Straw Hat, in order to defeat Kaido, I feel like the entire Straw has to be there. Because why are they putting it so many times in the opening, all the Straw Hats?
Are you talking about when they were standing in front of Kaido?
No, yeah, and all the way. I see them and I see them fighting. I'm seeing, so I feel like they're why are they putting in that scene? And I feel like that's a hint saying we need all the Straw Hats, especially counted if Yamato. So counted Yamato having that spreads going against Kaido, the final boss, meaning that it actually represents something, just like Luffy. Yeah, he may be strong, but his crew is the one who makes him stronger. Just like what he referenced in Arlem Park. That's what I'm waiting to see in this fight. And like I said, I wanted to bring that out because it's been seeing that if you see Nami, okay, Nami's done with ulti, and then you have who's you have those fights getting on, and then the Straw Hats. What's gonna the Straw Hat do? They're okay now, so that's how I feel.
Okay, but what about what's gonna happen in the next chapter?
Next. That's why I just wanted to add those. I agree with all of what you're saying, but I just wanted to add those bits.
But what's going to happen in the next chapter?
You already took everything. You want to see thing, but I kind of want to pan back to the reverie where everybody, like the warlords, I kind of want to go back to that place. What's happening
Oh.
outside?
Okay.
That's what I want to
outside.
know. Like what Shanks is doing, because Oda's been hyping up Shanks with Blackbeard. Just saying.
True. That is
That's
definitely
why
true.
I want to
Very
see. But that's
As far as next chapter goes, oof, there's so many things we can touch on. I would really like. I feel like we were probably going to get some updates on like what happened to Momo and Shinobu, because it feels a little like ballsy from Kaido to have it announced as like they've been defeated, where it's like she's a shinobi. You really think she doesn't have like a plan? She's the one who dropped them off the side of this cliff anyways. Like I expected Kaido when she did that to have gone after them in dragon form, but Yamato interrupted.
Yeah.
So I could see us like touching back on like what Law's crew's doing with Luffy, what happened to Shinobu, and Momo. I could see us going to like the Black Maria fight as well. We'll probably have like a couple of panels of Yamato versus Kaido. And then I think you're right with it being like an informational chapter as far as like Otama's probably going to give her orders, and then we're going to probably go back to like CP0 and then be like, well, now the numbers are this based on like all that's happening. So I don't think it'll be like a super action-packed chapter, but I do expect us to go to someone's fight. I think Kiwi is onto something. I'm wondering if like the reason they are showing that is, and the reason we aren't like getting super in-depth views of their fights are because none of them are actually going to like settle those fights necessarily.
Okay.
And somehow things are always going to get like interrupted up to a point where it is just all the Straw Hats versus Kaido. And that could be like we start seeing that next chapter as well.
That would be legit. That would absolutely be legit.
But it also would be the first time the Straw Hats like fighting together. At least the stronger fighters, because the stronger fighters usually take one enemy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Besides what was it, that the one island where they're fighting against freaking the CP what is it, CP9s? No,
yeah, CP9.
Kuma.
We're
fighting Kuma.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sabaody.
I think
And
that was the
the
first
bark.
time all together. The first time they fought against an actual person instead of being separated like in a Thriller Bark.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hope it's like that. That'd be cool. That'd be so cool.
Yeah.
But I also agree that we might have an informational chapter and we don't see a lot of fighting. I also want to see a little bit more of the fight. Like I agree that we want to see Yamato versus Kaido more, but I also want to see like Black Maria. We didn't saw anything from them now for a really long time.
Yeah.
It was so focused on Luffy, on the main hall, the main stage, and Momo. And so I would be happy, I would be glad to move back to those. Before we start rating it, I want to say, please post your questions in the chat now. We are going to start the Q&A section after we rate the chapter. Get your questions ready. And so, rating the chapter 1 out of 10. We start with Ike.
All right. Rating this 1 out of 10. I think one of the biggest things I'm going to say is I like how we came into it with them them narrating what's going on during the battle. Informational. You guys already know I love all the information as much as possible. And then going into, Nami actually finding out what new powers she has, fighting ulti, all of these things going down to Yamamoto. I feel like it wasn't enough. I don't feel like it was enough. I feel like they could have put a little more into this. I felt like we kind of got shorted on it, especially it being the last chapter for a break, like right before a break. Like I felt we kind of needed more than that. So honestly, I'm gonna rate it 6 out of 10. I am gonna rate this one a 6 out of 10 because I wanted more from this. Like they did give us information, but some of it was just like I wanted more than that. I definitely did.
Mine's has to be 9 out of 10. I can't give it 10 out of 10 as much as I want to, but I do agree with Ike. It felt like a bit kind of like we're missing some parts and stuff. So I kind of wanted to, if it's a 10 out of 10 chapters, it would be giving like, oh, Luffy's Joy Boy or something like that, or the shocks of the Wheel of D or something like that. But honestly, um I have to give it 9 out of 10 because I like the fights. I like the Zeus is actually fully with Nami. I love the suspense, the intensity. I was so intense when it comes to Yamato and Kaido because you never know, something might happen to Yamato. Yeah, she's strong and stuff, but do we really know how strong she really is? Yeah, she had a clash between Ace and Ace said, you're powerful and stuff, but do we really know? Does she really have anything that she can offer, or what she's capability of? That's why, like, I want to give this chapter 9 out of 10 because it just gives us so much possibilities, and I really think it's a good chapter for last to be a break chapter.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed this chapter. As I said earlier, as a Zoro stan, cover photo instantly wins the day. Just throw a little Zoro in there, and that's all I need. It's like a dog in treats. Real easy to please. I enjoyed seeing Otoko again, as sad as she makes me. CP0 is really cool. I really enjoyed the Nami Usopp chunk of this chapter, just seeing them get shit done, essentially. Being able to protect Otama while doing it. Nami's power up with Zeus's hype, and I love the way Oda's implemented it instead of Zeus just being just this big cloud that's just hanging out and living in the Climatak, that he is the Climatak now. I mean, there's just a lot of good stuff in this chapter. Overall, I'll probably give it like a 7.5, 8 out of 10 in that ballpark right there.
All right.
It was a good chapter. I enjoyed what it had. I will say it did feel a little short. Might have been because I was tired. I read it like right after my shift because I work nights. Like I got out, got my car, and then I read the chapter. Hadn't even driven off. But yeah, break. It can't be a perfect chapter because it's on a break week. That's always how you like ruin a chapter, kind of.
Yeah.
So for me, this chapter actually felt a little bit flat, if I'm being honest. Especially because it's a break week chapter. Because I know that it doesn't work every time, but usually, especially on break week chapters, Oda makes a major cliffhanger that makes you so hyped up for the next chapter that you're sitting there and you're like crying because you want the chapter now and you have to wait 2 weeks to get it. And I have to rate it a 4 out of 10.
4 out of 10.
Yes, we had.
All right. I see you.
I mean, we had some smaller moments. For me, it were just a little bit of smaller moments. We have this. I still kind of don't like the explanation for Zeus.
Yeah, I don't either. That wasn't.
Even though I think that Zeus is a good power up for Nami, and him being able to redirect Nami's attack is like a massive power up. and also what the conversation between Kaido and Yamato. Yes, it's good. Yes, it's implying more, and I want to see the fight. But overall, this chapter it didn't push me through to the moment where I sit there when I finish and say, I want the next chapter now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm not as anticipating for the next chapter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Usopp needs to stop getting clapped.
Yes.
He needs to stop getting clapped.
I want Usopp back.
He's gotta keep his distance. All right,
Oh,
that's the key.
Yes,
Everyone keeps
definitely.
getting too close.
Yes. So,
Oh gosh.
starting with the first question we have, it's not a question, it's a theory from Joyboy Diego. He said, theory, Kaido want to be Joyboy. Then he found out it was Luffy. That's all he has tried finding he hasn't tried finding the One Piece. He's waiting for Joyboy, who was Luffy, since Oden said or gave him the hint. So I want to say it's kind of interesting because if you remember, Gold Roger, also he was on Raftel, and he knows what he recognized that he isn't Joyboy. He isn't the one they were waiting for. And as I said in the last podcast that I from the last chapter, there was implied there were many Joyboys or Joyboy candidates before Luffy. But they aren't Joyboy. So everybody is waiting for him. But I also, for Kaido, what I would say, if I want to bend the theory, I would add to it and say Kaido wants to beat everyone down. Well, because we saw it in the last chapter with Kaido saying Luffy is not Joyboy. He wants to beat down every candidate, so he has to approve the person who's worthy to be Joyboy or to have the possibility to be Joyboy.
So you're thinking as him as more as a gatekeeper, I guess, like someone that kind of keeps the. Okay, got it.
Maybe that.
All right.
That plays into my theory a bit.
Because yes, also when you said it, like you said it, like him being suicidal maybe takes in this that he isn't Joyboy and he was devastated because he wanted to be Joyboy. Maybe.
Yes.
And now he says the only person who kills me has to be Joyboy. That's the only person that I'm allowing to kill me.
Yeah.
And he's getting stronger for it.
I was just thinking the same thing, Muninn. I was thinking the exact same thing, because you know what, if you take it into this context and stuff like that, honestly, he he's been like the whole time. He's like, when am I gonna die and stuff like that. He's had these suicidal tendencies for a long time, and then ever since all this action started kicking up, he's gotten more let's say motivated in a sense. He's been more motivated in finding out whether Luffy is Joyboy or not. He hadn't said it until now, but you can see through the actual episodes him becoming more and more excited. Him going from the freaking sluggish him to the drunk sluggish him, kind of like doing this. And then as he increasingly is more interested in stuff, interested in fighting, and then more interested to the point where, like, you know what, he actually was thrilled to see whether any of the big four that were up there could have been Joyboy. And it was definitely Luffy had his eyes on until he kind of murked him. So he kind of murked him and threw him off the side. So it was just kind of one of those things. So you know what, man, I definitely think, well, we all know most likely Joyboy is going to be Luffy. Come on. But in that sense, he just hasn't proven that he is Joyboy. And I think that's one of the things that, Kaido is most specifically looking for, that person to put him down, and which is a follows up on what he talks to Yamato about. He said, Yamato, you will be the Shogun. So he's kind of like insinuating that he is no longer going to be there because he's having that constant search for whoever Joy Boy is. So I think that's pretty interesting. That's pretty good. Nice theory, dude. Nice theory.
So does anyone else add something to that?
Kaido wanting to be Joy Boy is pretty interesting. I hadn't thought about that. And then him being disappointed about it as far as why he would be suicidal. It's a pretty decent theory. Not quite what I had in mind as far as why Kaido wants to kill himself.
Yeah.
It's cool. I do need to go back and read the flashback and like everything Yamato said about Odin in his journal. Because there's a lot of stuff there to unpack, and I feel like I've missed so much. Because people always hit me with like these crazy theories and stuff like that, and it's like based on the things Kaido's been saying of like you couldn't be Joy Boy either. There's a reason I'm staying on Wano. He seems to be aware of what's going on, and kind of like breaking the fourth wall of what his place is in the story.
The next thing is tied to that. It's also an opinion, or I think maybe Joy Boy Diego wanted to add something to his theory. It is that Kaido's having a connection with Joy Boy and maybe also Luffy unlocking a new form. What do you think? Will Kaido force Luffy to have a new form?
I don't think he's gonna have a new form. I don't. I think that's gonna be a later on thing. I think the new form is gonna be comprised of both of his stuff put together, but I think that's gonna be way down the line. I think that's gonna be something of him when he's in the next Great War. I think that's where that's gonna take place. I don't think Kaido is. I think what's gonna happen is most likely that Kaido is gonna bring out the inner, the Conqueror's hockey that he has now, and he's going to be able to envelop it onto the Kong form. So I think that's what's genuinely going to happen, but he's not going to be able to do it for too long. You know how he has his big timeline of where he can do it? I think he's going to use it as like a one and all near the end of the battle. We don't know. Kiwi brought up freaking all of them fighting together. So, hey, it might be during that little time period that they're fighting, and then he whips it out and freaking just mollywops freaking Kaido. So I hope that's what's going to happen. I hope his new form is later down the line, though. I want to see him get better at this Conqueror's hockey.
Honestly, I want to say something to add to Ike's point. I kind of want to see some kind of, not a transformation, but because he just got the use of the future sight and learned the way of the conquerors, the armament conquerors and stuff, and especially Rio. I want to see, because we already know how versatile Luffy is. He's very smart when it comes to combat. So I kind of want to see what he could pull up in his little tricky fighting style box and what he can pull up, because honestly we haven't seen that lately. So I want to see what he can do or combine to defeat Kaido.
I'm happy you said that part when you said he's smart. I'm happy you said fighting after.
Because Luffy being smart is not really.
Gotta add the addendum.
Yeah, I'm happy that was there.
Yes.
Read the fine print.
Yes. I have another one also from Joy by Yeager. It is a well-known.
I'm going to respond real quick.
Oh, yeah. I for a while I thought part of how Luffy was going to defeat Kaido was like using a kind of gear fifth of sorts, but it wasn't necessarily a new form. It was just like So you know how when Luffy goes Gear Fourth, he's
Mhm.
bouncing because
Mhm.
he's so elastic, bounce man. My idea was like Luffy's Gear Fifth is just awakening his fruit, and it's Gear Fourth. But when he uses it, he stops bouncing, and everyone else starts because he's turned around into.
Whoa.
Yeah, it would be like this really sick introduction because, like, you know, he goes to Gear Fourth, he's bouncing, and then he's like Gear Fifth, and then he just stops, and everyone's like, "What?" And then they start bouncing, and they're like, "Wait a minute, what the fuck just happened?"
That would be crazy.
Whoa.
But I do think, based on what Kaido said in the last in the last chapter of like making fun of Luffy's technique, Gomu Gomu no. I do think rather what we're gonna get is more of that like super fight creative Luffy, where like he's actually, rather than just using his base like this move, now this move, now this move, now this move, he's actually gonna start like using his fruit again and like using it to its full effect. And I like one of the things I think really adds to that is like how in Gear Fourth he's able to use armament to make sure he's still rubbery. Maybe he can do something like that with Conquerors now, where it's like I don't know, maybe his like Gum Gum Hanabi, like his foot explosion. He can use like that with like Conquerors. So maybe he has like I don't know, projectile Conquerors where he's like kicking these flurries of it out.
I kind of want to see, you know, if that does happen, like what you're saying right now. I kind of just want to see like a big mixture of the what is it called? What is it? Cobra or is it Anaconda? It's a snake form. The snake form,
Yeah,
and the
Snake
Kong
Man,
form.
yeah.
I want to see a combination of the both. If it does happen, there needs to be a combination of the both. And I've insinuated before. I think he should get like a Wukong form. I'm just saying. It makes sense.
Well, I mean, yeah, Snake Man does kind of look like all the fan art for it. Snake Man does look like it, and I'm wondering if the reason Luffy like lost to Kaido here is because he's already gone Gear Fourth once, and he was just tired after learning Conquerors.
He's been fighting for so long.
Exactly, and so like we're gonna get this like round 3 of their fight, but this time Luffy's like, I'm gonna go Gear Fourth using my new Conquerors. I'm gonna go straight into Snake Man, and now we're actually gonna get like this huge final like 10-minute bout between Kaido and Luffy.
Oh yeah.
So the thing that I want to talk about or mention now is a very, very like popular theory right now, especially with Blackbeard going after Big Mom's territory, that Big Mom is going to retreat the fight because her territory is in danger.
I've been saying that. I've been saying that.
I've heard it. It's a pretty good theory. I've been speculating for so long about like what is Blackbeard talking about in that final panel? If the Navy's not going to take it, we might as well claim the prize. What are you talking about? There's so many things on the table right now. What is he talking about? And that would be one way to I don't want to say fix Wano, but make things easier for the Straw Hats than taking down not one but 2 emperors.
Okay. But I kind of want to add something really might cause controversy, but I have a feeling, yes, Big Mom is gonna like affect what I theorize is that Blackbeard would defeat Katakuri and get the red poneglyph, and I have a feeling that we already got spoiled by the editors saying that Kaido might not be the final villain. So I think Blackbeard is gonna come to Wano and take that opportunity to just get the stuff. And you know who's gonna be in going there is Shanks. And you know, we might have Shank versus Blackbeard in Wano. Just throwing it out there. Just
Too soon. It's too soon.
But I have to butt in here.
because Shanks has been hyped by Oda, say, oh, what's the redheads up to, you know? And then especially, and then we still haven't know about the seven warlords. What's gonna happen? Is Mihawk gonna join Shanks, or what's gonna happen to that? Like
Yeah,
it's
that's
something.
definitely interesting. That's definitely interesting. Go ahead, Muninn.
Yeah, for me, I as much as the theory makes sense, I don't want it to be true.
I
Because
know.
I want Kid and Law taking down Big Mom together. I
Yeah.
want them to take a Yonko
Right.
together, to be kind of on the level of Luffy as supernovas.
Mhm.
Because they're still supernovas, and I don't know, because right now it seems like a lot of the Straw Hats are stronger than them.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
why are they even supernovas anymore? I mean, they're not weak, but to make this statement that they are on another level than some of the Straw Hats, that they still deserve the title of worst generation.
I literally think on that. I literally think that on both of yours, what you both said and stuff like that. When it comes to this battle and the conclusion of it, I don't think Blackbeard's going to come here. I don't think he's going to come here to Wano, and I only say that because of I think Shanks is going to stop him from doing it. I think Shanks is going to stop him from doing what he thinks he's going to do, and I can't see Blackbeard taking over Whole Cake Island either, because honestly, Katakuri is pretty fucking badass. And I'm just saying, he's going to put the mollywop on 99% of Blackbeard's crew. Just saying. But
you have to know that
others within it too. And Blackbeard himself being there, he's going to have a lot of problem. But he also has Haki in the highest level. So I don't think Blackbeard can even keep up with Future Sight like that. Honestly, Blackbeard's kind of slow and fat. I'm just saying.
But remember, he has the power to negate Devil Fruit, like how he did with Ace.
Yes and no. Ace is different. He was a Logi Fruit user. All right. So he can negate it and suck in all that energy, all that elemental energy into the black hole, which makes perfect sense that he would be the perfect weakness for Ace. But we don't necessarily know if he can do the same to other people, like let's say Luffy. He can't technically do that to Luffy.
Technically.
Luffy.
Yeah, he technically, remember, like Luffy punched Blackbeard, and remember he got bleeding. Usually he doesn't bleed. Remember?
Yeah, he decked him. That's what I mean.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying, like, his Devil Fruit, his rubbery would not work with Blackbeard either way.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
But in that way, Shanks would be a good enemy for Blackbeard. Because he has no Devil Fruit.
He's stopping him. He definitely went to Reverie. He definitely went to Reverie, and he's like, "Hey, I need to tell you about this boy right here. He can't be going around clapping people like he thinks he can. I'm gonna go stop him."
That's the other thing, though, because like Shanks clearly is worried about Blackbeard because that scar that's from Blackbeard, and that's like when he said what he said to Whitebeard was super important because he's like, you know, I fought a lot of battles and I've gotten a lot of scars, but the only one that still aches is the one that was given to me by Teach. And he did seemingly go to the Reverie to talk about Blackbeard. So it's like, while Shanks is a good matchup because he doesn't have a Devil Fruit, it's still like Shanks clearly is not taking Blackbeard lightly. I think what Blackbeard might actually be doing is going to pick up some of the Shichibukai and make them join his crew, like Mihawk or Boa Hancock, or
but they wouldn't though. I feel like those wouldn't.
Maybe
interesting.
We don't. Mihawk's an enigma. We don't really know too much about him to say whether or not he could.
He's a loner.
Yeah, he seems like a loner, but at the same time, it's like joining Blackbeard's crew would give him the space that he likes, and he could still go out and pursue strong opponents, especially considering he's now on Blackbeard's crew that still paints a target on his back, but it just gets people like off his immediate doorstep.
He also, if you think about it, that also gives him a reason. I'm just gonna say it. That gives him a reason to fight Zoro. That
If
also gives him a
Blackbeard knows about like Zoro's goal,
reason.
he could like pitch that to Mihawk, being like, "Yeah, no, the Straw Hat doesn't like me. So if you roll with me, and I run into Luffy, well, Zoro's going to be there. You'll have to fight Zoro. There you go."
Which he kind of has to, because he said he'd help him in that endeavor to become the strongest swordsman. And the only way for him to do that is, well, for him to beat him. That's it. Exactly. That's all there is to it. And like him being, Zoro's senpai, just saying.
Zoro's.
He's got to do that. He's got to put it in as a mentor. He's got to get him there on the line.
Exactly.
That's interesting. I like that.
I kind of want to add something about the theory about Blackbeard. About you said about the prize. I have a feeling now that I think about it, I think he's talking about Sabo or Vivi.
Oh, interesting.
Because like, do you really believe the propaganda that Morgan say, "Oh, Sabo dies" or something like that? I doubt Sabo died, and I doubt Vivi. And I think Blackbeard kind of had an insight about. You remember they ransacked the Revolutionary Army's place. So even if they ransacked it, they might have got some information of what happened or something. And we don't forget that we didn't know what happened to the place of Revolutionary. Maybe they got some informational, and I think that's what Blackbeard is keeping track on. Is he wants Sabu's devil fruit so badly now? Why is it that he's so after Ace's fruit that he wants it, especially going? Because Burgess, like, he could have got somebody's devil fruit, but no, it's Ace's devil fruit. Something with Ace's devil fruit. Something that is like, they would not infiltrate that both in Dressrosa and now Burgess going to Revolutionaries Army's base so he can get the devil fruit. Like, isn't that coincidence or something? I don't know. But I just wanted to state that.
Interesting.
Yeah. So the next question is a little bit of a sidetrack from One Piece. And I want you to, I don't want this complete discussion or essay on it. Just a quick answer.
All right.
Who's going to win? Superman or Goku?
Goku.
Kiwi?
Can we add another option?
No.
Another option? What?
I want to add Saitama, but I will have. Yeah.
Okay, Saitama. Okay.
Oh my gosh, Goku.
Bopple?
Goku.
Depending on which version of Superman is all I have to say, but 90% of the versions, it's still Goku. There are only like 2 or 3 versions of Superman that should win.
Nice. I don't know enough about Dragon Ball, but I will follow the mass here. So I will say Goku. So getting back to One Piece, we have Edgar Luvian with the question: do you think Yamato has the devil fruit, or is it raw power? Ike is preparing, he's standing up.
Had to stretch for this one. All right, here we go. My girl Yamato, okay. I think it makes sense for her to have a devil fruit. Hopefully she has a devil. She hasn't shown anything though. She hasn't shown anything of a devil fruit whatsoever. But I'm hoping, like I said, because we got the Beast Pirates and we have freaking like them just producing devil fruits over and over again. There's just absolutely no way that he's not going to give his child a devil fruit. There's no way Kaido is not going to give Yamato a devil fruit. It just doesn't make sense. And so I feel like Yamato should have a devil fruit. And raw power, I think Yamato still has raw power because Yamato is the heir for Kaido.
Shogun.
So it just makes sense that Yamato being the heir for Kaido. It just makes perfect sense for one Yamato to have King's Haki or Conqueror's Haki, Conqueror's Haki in the same type of strength that he does. It just makes sense. I don't know who Yamato's mom is. Maybe his big mom, but like we never know. We never know because I'm just saying. Big Mom was like, "You own me." So I'm just saying.
I feel like
but in that sense, I think Yamato huge. I don't know. I think Yamato should have a different, and I think Yamato does have a different. That might come back on me later, but hey, I'm going for it.
Honestly, I kind of like want Yamato to not have a devil fruit because it makes him more badass. But I remember that she is an Oni that like especially the horn because Kaido already has a horn, so Yamato has one, so she's technically an Oni who has a very Onis are depicted as a strong like a human version of an ogre, that very powerful like humanoid ogres, and I felt like with that raw power with the Conqueror's Haki, I want to see that, especially she wants to be just like Odin at one point, so that's why I kind of want to see that clash between the two. Yeah, Yamato doesn't have a sword just like Odin, but I want to see more strength it is, and I have to go with raw power.
Okay, so I'm gonna play both sides of the fence here. I'm gonna back I'm cool either way. I'm very open. But as far as strength for Yamato having a double fruit, she was wearing those cuffs, and it wasn't confirmed whether or not those cuffs were sea stone or not. On the flip side, absolutely, Oda has like not doubled, not tripled, but he's like quintupled it down on like the whole Oni aspect, and I think it would be pretty boss if Yamato didn't actually have a double fruit and she's just like, yeah, no, I got a club and I hit real hard.
Yeah,
I kind of agree to you, Whirlpool, because I think I'm not sure if what devil fruit would suit Yamato if you would
I've
have
heard
one.
talk of like a white tiger, though I can't remember what the legend of it is, but that's what people who I hear talking about her having a double fruit. That's usually what I hear them go to.
There was cover art about that. I just want to bring that up. It was way earlier, but I'm just saying.
Oh, that kind of makes sense.
White tiger versus a dragon.
It would also be okay with Yamato not having a devil fruit. It would make him. It would really make him badass.
Yamato's hair. I'm just saying.
They have this gradient.
Oh yeah, it could go either way. I'm interested. I'm here for it. I'm buckled in.
Yes. So the next thing is one of the earliest questions of One Piece. It was asked Oda in an SBS, and I know to this day Oda's answer was that you just read it as it is and don't think about it for now. It is the question: what is the will of D, and is it related to Wano being special for it? So I'm not sure. We kind of have a lot of information on it, but we kind of have not. We have learned so much about like hints to the will of D, but every time Oda hints the will of D, like the predictions or the theories go wild. And as much as we know of the will of D, we don't, at the same time, it's like we don't anything at all. Which is kind of crazy. And because the poneglyphs are related to Wano, it makes sense that the will of D is directly connected to Wano. So I think I don't know what the will of D is. There are so many theories out there that would make total sense. and I cannot decide for any of them. But I think yes, the Will of D is connected to Wano.
Yeah, in that sense, the Will of D being connected to Wano, or what do I think the Will of D is in the first place? Actually, I'm gonna start with that. Hey, the Will of D, honestly, I think the Will of D isn't what anyone thinks it really is. I think everyone, and it's blown up to be this thing within this world, something huge and something crazy. But going all the way to when we watch, Goldie Roger, when he finally finds One Piece and stuff like that, I think the Will of D itself is just the personification of choosing to find your dream. I think that's all it really is. And I think a lot of people are thinking that it's not just a physical aspect, or it's not just a title, or this and that and this and this, which it is insinuated and hinted by Roger himself, saying that his name is Gold D. Roger, not Goldie Roger. And it's because of the line of lineage of people who have voyaged and went above and beyond of their own being. That's what I think it is, honestly. I think that's where it takes place and stuff like that, and that's what I think what it truly is. But when it goes to, is it related, to Wano and it being special in Wano? I do necessarily think it kind of does, but only in the path to tell the story. Only in the path of the ones who are able to read and guide people through that story. That's what I think.
I will actually agree with Ike about the Will of D. Honestly, the Will of D, like, I want to make a joke out of it, but the Will of D is in Odin's journal. Odin's journal. Just saying. I think that's why it's special. But I'm saying, but the Will of D, I feel like they already talked. Like, they feel like they already talked about it, especially with they trying to find out what it is. With Rayleigh, with the O'Hara, like the people in scientists, they, and even now Law wants to know what is the Will of D, what is it so special to do, but is it like an enemy to God? But I feel like one answer that we kind of miss, I feel like those people who is the Will of D is like a freedom where uh like you are not bound to the world itself, because if you think about it, Ace, Roger, and everybody who died, they put on a smile, and they are willing to dedicate themselves, and like, I'm not bound to the world. I'm satisfied. They feel like they're satisfied to die. So the Will of D is something about freedom. It's connected to freedom that is determined by your smile, but by I'm satisfied to what my life is.
Okay. The Will of D. I think the Will of D is the will of dreams, so to speak.
Oh.
It's what's connected about it is that the people who have the Will of D, they will happily die for their dreams, which is why we get they die with a smile on their face. And they, even though plenty of people chase after their dreams, specifically those with the Will of D will die for it. And that dream will always continue onwards, which I think Blackbeard's line in Jaya is super important. People's dreams never die. I think he was giving Luffy a hint. And it kind of ties into my earlier theory about like why Kaido's suicidal. I believe Kaido knows what's on the Wano poneglyph, and it's, of course, it's the directions, the Rio poneglyph, and then there's also the other one. I think Kaido actually knows, which is why he's like, I know what the Joy Boy is, and like I said earlier, of like the fourth dimension of knowing his place in the story. And so like he's suicidal for two reasons. One, he's sad that his daughter is like so disenfranchised with him, that she wants to be Odin, she wants to leave the island, she doesn't want to be Shogun, she doesn't want anything to do with him. He's not dad, any of that. So he's just like so butthurt as a father. And on top of that, he's like he also realizes that he has taken Wano, and the person who is Joy Boy, the person who is someone with the will of D, someone following in these footsteps, is going to be the person to defeat him. And so Kaido, maybe Kaido's. I've seen memes of saying it's Kai D O. So it's a bit of amalgamation, but I mean I do think Kaido's probably just aware of what he is and who he is, and so he's just ready to like he's just looking for the person who's going to help him kick the bucket at this point.
Okay, I see it.
So, does anyone of the hosts at this point wants to add something to this conversation?
I kind of want to add something just to set. Basically, I want to add a little theory where the will of D would play a big part in Elfbath, and I think that it's gonna solidify Wano and make the Wano, because I have a feeling that like the will of D. I'm not saying that Shanks has the will of D, but I'm saying is that the reason Shanks is weary about with Blackbeard is also have to do with he's also a D. So that is something especially, and I think he's afraid that we're seeing another Sobek. So he's afraid of we're having another Sobek, and we need to take this seriously. And I feel like that is something that I want to put out there.
Ah, interesting. Yeah, definitely.
Yes. So I think if that wraps it up for us today. Eyes on that street always. I read your question, but I think we will keep that question in mind. We will definitely discuss it next time, or even post it in the comments of this video, so other people can also engage and answer your question, what they think about it. I have a special shout out for Joybert Jäger for sharing his amazing theories with us. And I also want to shout out our guest host today, Wopel, who has a small YouTube channel. He's doing gaming content, but also is doing anime content. What if he sees something that he likes or wants to talk about it? It is Warple Logic. So go check him out, watch his videos, leave a like, subscribe to him, and we are always here for everybody supporting each other.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Thank you.
It's great having you on, man.
Absolutely. I enjoyed being here. This was fun.
Yes.
For our channel, we also have more podcasts. On Monday, we have Blacktober chapter reviews. On Wednesday, we have general anime conversations where we talk about anime, manga, manhwa, and webtoon in general. And on Fridays, we have the chapter review. Here, I want to add, next Friday, we are not going to have a podcast. We are posting a video from on the channel instead, because it's a break week. Keep that in mind. We go live at 1 p.m. CST or 1900 CET. If you enjoy our content, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell and follow our Instagram, Twitter for additional content and information. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.